Chapter 2268. Do you have more of this trash? The aura of a half-step supreme was so oppressive that everyone couldn't lift their heads, let alone speak. Uchibi and the two grand elders were holy venerables, so their situation was slightly better. However, those at the other shore realm were not as fortunate, standing there like wooden statues. Uchibi hadn't expected that this young and beautiful woman was actually a half-step supreme. Lin Moyu had such a terrifying elder sister. According to their intelligence, Lin Moyu already had extraordinary combat power, capable of fighting above his level. They hadn't expected that he had an even more terrifying elder sister. In this era, a half-step supreme was top-tier combat power, the foundation of any race. Previously, they had wondered how the human race managed to deal with the Demon Lord and the Eagle Emperor, given that after the departure of Old Star, the human race only had holy venerable level combat power. Now they finally understood that the human race had a half-step supreme, one who could act freely.
Although you are a half-step supreme, our fish race is not to be trifled with,
Uchibi said, struggling under the pressure of the half-step supreme's aura. He held a scroll in his hand, identical to the one given to the human race. The scroll was from ancient times. Once activated, it could unleash an attack equivalent to that of a supreme. A half-step supreme, though powerful, couldn't withstand a supreme's attack. Seeing the scroll in Uchibi's hand, Lin Moyu secretly smiled.
As expected, there is more than one.
It seemed that the fish race had several such scrolls. The one given to the human race was both a gesture of goodwill and a message that they had supreme-level trump cards, warning the human race not to push them too far. Lin Moyu looked at his elder sister.
It's a pity you don't know what you're up against.
When Lin Mohan saw the scroll, she couldn't help but laugh coldly.
Is that it?
With a flick of her finger, a sharp sword aura slashed towards Uchibi. Lin Mohan acted without hesitation. Uchibi hadn't expected Lin Mohan to suddenly attack. The two were already close, and the sword strike came quickly and fiercely. Facing the attack of a half-step supreme, he instinctively retreated, activating the scroll in his hand while shouting,
"Retreat!"
All the elders of the fish race retreated collectively. If this battle truly started, they would have no part in it. The scroll activated, emitting a radiant glow that quickly transformed into a blazing flame. The sword light was swallowed by the flame, leaving nothing behind. The sword strike seemed fierce but wasn't actually powerful. Uchibi realized he had been tricked. He could have blocked the sword strike himself. At this moment, an even more terrifying aura erupted in the starry sky, the true aura of a supreme. Everyone felt their bodies grow heavy, finding it difficult to move. Facing a supreme, they felt as insignificant as ants, completely powerless. The flames surged, forming a giant flame figure. The flame giant raised its massive hand and struck towards Lin Mohan. The starry sky shattered under the attack, with both Lin Mohan and Lin Moyu within its range. Uchibi suddenly realized that if Lin Moyu and Lin Mohan died here, their enmity with the human race would be irreconcilable, a fight to the death. This wasn't what he wanted. No matter how powerful the fish race was, they couldn't match the human race. He regretted his hasty activation of the scroll, but it was too late for regrets.
I hope they can withstand it. After all, they are half-step supremes.
Uchibi could only pray in his heart. At this moment, a delicate shout rang in his ears, followed by a terrifying burst of sword aura. He saw a gray giant sword appear behind Lin Mohan, with a purple line running through the blade.
Her rule world is a sword.
Uchibi was stunned. Then his eyes widened as he saw Lin Mohan grasp her rule world in her hand. The sword aura swept across the starry sky, causing all the elders of the fish race to spit blood and retreat in horror. Their bodies and souls were swept by the invisible sword aura, suffering minor injuries. She hadn't even attacked yet. Just holding the sword was terrifying enough. Uchibi's heart sank.
She is not an ordinary half-step supreme.
In the next second, the sword light illuminated the starry sky, shattering the flame giant's massive hand and tearing the giant itself to pieces. The flame giant exploded into fragments under the sword light, with flames scattered and burning throughout the starry sky. The scroll shattered into pieces with a bang. A Supreme's attack was shattered by Lin Mohan's single sword strike. Everyone watched in horror, unable to speak for a long time. Uchibi swallowed hard.
She is indeed not an ordinary half-step Supreme. Like Lin Moyu, she can fight above her level. No, it's not just fighting above her level, it's fighting across realms. Clearly a half-step Supreme, yet possessing supreme combat power. This woman is even more terrifying than Lin Moyu.
Lin Mohan, holding the world-destroying sword, swept her sharp gaze across the scene. Her gaze was like a sword, and no one dared to meet her eyes. Finally, Lin Mohan looked at Uchibi.
Do you have more of this trash? Bring them all out, and I'll cut them all.
Uchibi's expression was complicated. He did have more scrolls, but he wasn't foolish enough to bring them all out for Lin Mohan to destroy. The scrolls were their trump cards. Using one meant one less, and they couldn't be wasted casually. Lin Mohan said,
Why aren't you speaking? Are you all mute?
At this moment, she held the world-destroying sword, like a goddess of war, dominating the scene. Uchibi didn't know what to say. If he said the wrong thing and angered this goddess of war, she might strike him down with her sword. Even though he mastered spatial laws, he wasn't confident he could withstand Lin Mohan's sword. With Lin Moyu, who also mastered spatial laws, beside her, if Lin Moyu locked the space, his spatial laws would be rendered ineffective. If a fight broke out, they might all be wiped out. Lin Moyu coughed lightly.
Clan leader Chibi, perhaps you should reconsider your promise.
Uchibi's eyes were complicated. He was genuinely considering it. He had no choice. If he didn't consider it, they might all die here today. He realized that Lin Moyu and his sister weren't here to negotiate. They were here to inform. If he agreed, everything would be fine. If he didn't agree, they would fight until he did. Faced with Lin Mohan's toughness, Uchibi was truly conflicted. After hesitating for a few seconds, he said,
Give us some time. We need to discuss this.
Lin Moyu smiled slightly.
Of course.
Uchibi immediately gathered the elders to discuss. Lin Moyu watched from a distance, smiling, not in a hurry at all. He wasn't worried about Uchibi and the others running away. Where could they run to? Unless Uchibi abandoned the fish race and went to be a lone commander. Faced with the rules of the clan and the survival of their people, Uchibi would likely make a smart decision. After a while, Uchibi and the others finally reached a conclusion. Uchibi's eyes were complex, filled with reluctance and humiliation, but also helplessness. He suppressed his voice.
Chi-Gru is a princess of our clan, with a noble status. If you want to marry her, in terms of etiquette.
Before he finished speaking, a sword light flew from Lin Mohan's hand. Uchibi was startled, thinking Lin Mohan was attacking again. The sword light stopped in front of Uchibi, transforming into a sword. The sword emitted spatial aura, with ripples constantly spreading around it. It was a sword containing spatial laws. Lin Mohan's cold voice rang out.
This sword is the betrothal gift.
2269, 2269. Chapter 2269. Next time I won't be so nice. A sword imbued with spatial laws was given by Lin Mohan as a betrothal gift. The Star Sky Fish race excelled at spatial laws, and they could forge spatial law treasures themselves, so they didn't lack the sword. Several other Shore Realm elders had a flash of humiliation in their eyes, mixed with some anger, but they didn't dare to voice it. Uchime sensed something extraordinary from this sword. He curiously reached out and grasped the sword. The sword body vibrated slightly. Uchime's soul moved, leaving an imprint on it while simultaneously receiving information about the sword. His eyes immediately lit up with excitement, and his body trembled slightly. This sword was named the Mystic Void Sword, a Supreme Realm Spatial System treasure. In ancient times, there was a sword sect where an astonishing genius once appeared. That genius comprehended spatial laws and ultimately achieved Supreme Realm. He integrated his understanding of swordsmanship with spatial laws, forming a legacy. This legacy was eventually placed in the Sword Realm, ranking among the many legacies there. Lin Moyu took this legacy from the Sword Realm and gave it to the Star Sky Fish Race as a betrothal gift. The Star Sky Fish Race excelled at spatial laws but had always lacked a legacy in this area. Their application of spatial laws was very crude. With this legacy, they could truly unleash the power of spatial laws, increasing the entire race's combat power by at least 30%.
Is our sincerity enough?
Uchime hastily replied.
Yes, it's enough.
His voice was filled with excitement, causing those around him to be very curious. The previous humiliation and unwillingness had all disappeared from Uchime at this moment. Uchime was only excited and thrilled, tightly gripping the mystic void sword, unwilling to let go at all. Everyone was very curious about what kind of sword this was to make Uchime behave like this. It seemed that compared to this sword, breaking clan rules didn't matter anymore. Lin Moyu nodded and smiled.
Very good, then the matter is settled. The human race's Holy Venerable will discuss the following matters with you. Don't go back on your word again, or Grandma won't be so nice next time she comes.
Uchime nodded repeatedly.
Rest assured, Fairy Lin, this matter is settled.
Lin Moyu also put away the world-destroying sword, the frost dissipating. Her face once again beaming with a charming smile.
That's good.
Lin Moyu also said,
Clan Leader Chime, in a few days, Holy Venerable Ha will have some matters to discuss with you. I hope you can make the right decision like today.
After saying this, he opened a space gate and turned to leave. The space gate disappeared, and once they confirmed the two had left, the elders gathered around, asking in a flurry,
Clan Leader, is this sword very special?
In fact, they all knew clearly that for Uchime to change so drastically, the sword in his hand must be extraordinary. Uchime's voice was still somewhat excited.
This sword is named the Mystic Void Sword, from a supreme being in ancient times. This supreme integrated spatial laws with a set of sword techniques, forming a powerful legacy. With this legacy, our clan's combat power can increase by at least 30%.
A 30% increase in the entire clan's combat power. What did this concept mean? When he said this, all the elders understood why Uchime had changed so much. Breaking the rules once and exchanging Uchingru for a great increase in the clan's strength was a very good deal. On the way back, Lin Moyu smiled brightly.
How was that? Your big sister is a qualified matchmaker, right?
Lin Moyu flattered her.
When big sister takes action, one is worth two.
Lin Moyu snorted.
Stop flattering me. Hurry up and have children. That's the right path.
Lin Moyu didn't respond to this. If he did, there would be no end to it. Pressuring for marriage was one thing, but pressuring for children, even he couldn't handle that. Lin Moyu said,
All right, next stop is the Yu family, to pick up Sister Yu Zhu. I've already spoken with Madame Yu. She should be waiting.
Lin Moyu thought of Yu Zhu, who had once said so firmly,
I will wait for the captain at the Yu family. Whether it's 10 years, 100 years, or 1,000 years, Yu Zhu will wait.
In the blink of an eye, over 100 years had really passed. He wondered how Yu Zhu was doing now. In the Divine City, the friendly exchange between the young people of the two races was ongoing. This time it wasn't a competition. Everyone was just sparring, and they all showed restraint. The geniuses sent by the human race were of similar realms to those of the Star Sky Fish Race. In terms of combat power, both sides had wins and losses. This wasn't a tournament. They could freely choose their opponents, and there was no limit to the number of matches. The entire process was conducted in a joyful and friendly atmosphere. Uchingru sat on the stage watching the matches. As a princess of the fish race, she did not participate. She seemed to be watching the matches, but her gaze was somewhat distracted, thinking about other matters. She knew what Lin Moyu and Lin Moyu had gone to do, and she was very nervous.
I wonder what the clan leader's reaction will be. They won't fight, will they? Will he suffer? The clan leader and the others shouldn't dare to kill anyone. The human race is so powerful now. At most, they would drive them away.
As she was lost in thought, The shell at her waist suddenly vibrated. Her consciousness moved, and she immediately heard Lin Moyu's voice.
It's all settled.
These 4 short words calmed Yu Qingrou's anxiety. Yu Qingru let out a long sigh of relief, her smile becoming even more radiant and beautiful.
How did he do it? Could it really be as Sister Lin said, cutting them down one by one until they agreed?
Old problems were solved, and new ones began to arise. As a princess of the fish race, Yu Qingru had always borne heavy responsibilities, thinking she would become the leader of the race in the future, never considering herself an ordinary woman. Before meeting Lin Moyu, she had never thought about marriage. She always felt that marriage had nothing to do with her. Even though she had feelings for Lin Moyu, she never considered that one day she would become his wife. Unexpectedly, in just a few days, everything changed. She was about to marry, becoming someone else's wife like an ordinary woman. This change in her emotions and identity left Yu Qingru somewhat at a loss. In her confusion, there was also sweetness. Yu Qingrou's lips would occasionally curl into a smile, and her bright eyes became even clearer and more beautiful. In the Yu family of the Divine City Star region, among the human race, families with other shore realm ancestors were all powerful. The human race also valued bloodlines. Being able to reach the other shore realm indicated a superior bloodline. Such bloodlines naturally needed to be passed on, with more children and more blessings, hoping that among them, a genius might be born. This was indeed the case. The likelihood of geniuses emerging from major families was much higher than from ordinary families. This also ensured the continued status of these families. The Yu family was like this. Before Madame Yu, the Yu family had produced several other shore realm ancestors. Almost every era had an other shore realm ancestor, making the Yu family one of the top families. Unfortunately, the Yu family had never produced a holy venerable. But in this era, Madame Yu had the opportunity to become a holy venerable, potentially pushing the Yu family to the true peak. In the Yu family, Madame Yu's word was law, and her status was unparalleled. As soon as Lin Moyu and Lin Mohan arrived at the star where the Yu family was located, they sensed an unusual aura. Lin Moyu smiled slightly.
Someone in the Yu family is about to break through to the other shore realm.
2270. Chapter 2270. If it's not dangerous, Grandma won't go. The 100 races have been pacified, and the human race has regained control of the starry sky. The human race's fortune is at its peak, the highest in hundreds of thousands of years. Geniuses emerge from the clan, and many who have struggled to break through for years have finally succeeded. This is also true for the Yu family. During the Great War, someone had an epiphany and reached the half-step other shore realm. Subsequently, they embarked on the blood path to the other shore, leveraging the benefits of the Great War to accumulate blood, and finally stepped into the other shore realm after the war. The aura of advancing to the other shore realm enveloped the entire star, and the Yu family was filled with joy. The Yu family knew that they would soon have another ancestor at the other shore realm.
Madame Yu, Lin Moyu, and Lin Mohan are here to visit.
Lin Moyu's voice reached the Yu family. The Yu family was shaken. The fame of Lin Moyu and his sister Lin Mohan was now unparalleled in the human race.
Mr. Lin and Fairy Han, why would they come to our place? They must be here to see the ancestor. I've heard that Fairy Han is stunningly beautiful. I really want to see her. Behave yourself. Without the ancestor's order, who dares to go?
Just half a second after Lin Moyu spoke, a figure flew out from the Yu family towards Lin Moyu. It wasn't Madame Yu, but Yu Zhu. Yu Zhu stopped in front of Lin Moyu, tears in her eyes, a smile on her lips, staring straight at Lin Moyu. In her world, it seemed there was only Lin Moyu, even ignoring Lin Mohan beside him.
Captain, you finally came to see Yu Zhu.
Yu Zhu smiled through her tears, her body trembling with excitement. After not seeing each other for over 100 years, Yu Zhu had matured a bit, still as beautiful as ever. If they weren't at the Yu family, Yu Zhu would probably have thrown herself into Lin Moyu's arms. Madame Yu flew out after Yu Zhu, dignified and elegant, exuding the aura of the rule world. Lin Moyu could see that Madame Yu was already constructing her rule world and would soon become a holy venerable. Madame Yu smiled.
Welcome, Fairy Han, Mr. Lin. I've prepared tea. Good.
The four entered the Yu family, and Madame Yu dismissed everyone else. Madame Yu was already aware of Yu Zhu's situation. This time, Lin Mohan formally proposed marriage to the Yu family on behalf of Lin Moyu. Madame Yu naturally agreed, not even requiring a dowry, showing her attitude. Throughout the process, Yu Zhu's smile never faded. She had waited for so many years, and finally, there was a result. The joy she felt could only be understood by herself. Half a day later, Lin Moyu and Lin Mohan left, taking Yu Zhu with them. In fact, Madame Yu knew very well that Yu Zhu's heart had followed Lin Moyu long ago. In the Divine City Star region, Yu Qingru suddenly looked towards the sky. She saw Lin Moyu standing in the air, with a woman beside him. The woman was very beautiful, no less than herself, with bamboo patterns embroidered on her collar. Without needing to be told, Yu Qingru knew this was Yu Zhu, whom Lin Moyu had mentioned. After saying a word to Holy Venerable Hao, Yu Qingru disappeared. Lin Moyu brought them outside the Divine City, into the quiet starry sky, and introduced
Yu Zhu Yu Qingru.
On the way, he had already told Yu Zhu about Yu Qingru's identity, and Yu Zhu was not jealous at all. In the worldview of the human race, it was normal for a capable man to have multiple wives. It was the same in the Yu family. Her elders all had multiple wives and concubines, and everyone lived harmoniously. For someone as capable as Lin Moyu, marrying several women was not a problem at all. In Yu Zhu's mind, ordinary people were not worthy of Lin Moyu. Only someone like Yu Qingru with excellent status, appearance, and talent was worthy of Lin Moyu. Yu Qingru smiled.
Sister Yu Zhu is so beautiful.
With one sentence, she already considered herself the elder sister. Yu Zhu didn't mind, thinking that being a younger sister had its advantages, as elder sisters always took care of their younger siblings. Her elder sisters at home often took care of her. Yu Zhu responded cleverly.
Hello, Sister Qingru.
Yu Qingru felt a sense of satisfaction, not knowing Yu Zhu's thoughts.
Sister is so clever.
In a few words, the two had established their positions. Before long, Lin Moyu found himself becoming an extra, as the two quickly became good friends. Seeing the two getting along well, Lin Moyu's consciousness sank into his soul world. He gently touched the sleeping coffin and softly said,
You won't blame me, will you?
Yu Qingru and Yu Zhu seemed to sense Lin Moyu's abnormality and looked over simultaneously. Lin Moyu smiled.
There's something I want to discuss with you. This matter might seem unfair to you. I don't want to hold a wedding for now. When everyone is together in the future, we'll hold a wedding together.
Yu Qingru chuckled.
What's the big deal? We fish race never care about weddings.
Yu Zhu also said softly.
In our family, taking concubines never involves a wedding.
Lin Moyu didn't expect Yu Zhu to consider herself a concubine and immediately corrected.
In my family, there is no distinction between wives and concubines. Everyone is equal. Now, because things are not settled yet, we won't hold a wedding for now. In the future, when everyone is together, we will definitely hold a wedding. You are all my wives, no concubines.
Yu Qingru shook her head.
I don't mind. In our race, there is no distinction between wives and concubines. As long as we are together, it's fine.
Yu Zhu also nodded vigorously.
Me too, as long as I can be with the captain.
Yu Qingru asked curiously.
Sister, why do you call him captain? That's because...
The topic was brought up again, and the two started chatting, leaving Lin Moyu aside once more. Looking into the distant starry sky, his gaze seemed to penetrate the world's barriers, entering the realm sea, looking at a more distant place.
What kind of world is the realm sea outside the great world? Those heavenly venerables left the great world to find their own path, hoping to become Tao venerables. What kind of opportunity allows them to become Tao venerables? What should I do to become a heavenly venerable?
Lin Moyu thought for a long time. When Yu Qingru and Yu Zhu had chatted enough, he took them to see Lin Mohan. Once their identities were confirmed, regardless of age, Lin Mohan would be their elder. A few days later, the Star Sky Fish Race completed their visit, and Yu Qingru led the team back. Yu Qingru felt a bit reluctant but knew they would meet again soon. Holy Venerable Hao would visit the Star Sky Fish Race soon to discuss the details and finalize everything. Moreover, Holy Venerable Hao would also discuss the matter of the impending Great War with Yu Qime. This matter concerned the life and death of the entire Great World, and the Star Sky Fish Race could no longer remain uninvolved as they had in the past. Lin Moyu accompanied Yu Zhu to tour the human race star region, visiting many places and seeing many sights. On a picturesque planet, under a starry night, Yu Zhu fully gave herself to Lin Moyu. A month later, Lin Moyu received a message from Lin Mohan and returned to the Divine City. Sword intent surged from Lin Mohan, and sword energy cut countless cracks in the space.
Are you really leaving, sister?
Lin Mohan told him she was leaving to find her own path. Lin Mohan nodded.
I want to achieve supreme, but not in the great world.
Lin Moyu frowned.
Are you going to the Realm Sea?
Lin Mohan nodded.
You have your path, and I have mine. I hope that when I return, you will have become a father.
Lin Moyu knew Lin Mohan was right. Everyone had their own path.
The Realm Sea is dangerous, be careful. Don't worry, if it's not dangerous, Grandma won't go.
Lin Mohan laughed lightly, her sword intent soaring into the sky. 2271, 2271. Chapter 2271. Ancient War finally ended. Lin Mohan left very decisively, without any hesitation. She was going to seek her own path, and her path was not in the great world. Lin Moyu knew that his sister's bloodline awakening wasn't just about inheritance. There should be some other things as well, but he didn't ask. As long as Lin Mohan was still his sister, that was enough. Nothing else mattered.
I'm alone again. But I also need to walk my own path.
Lin Moyu was very clear about where his path lay. In these days, he hadn't been cultivating, he was waiting. Waiting for the great world's reward to arrive. Calculating the time, it should be about right. White Tiger and Vermilion Bird had gone to the outer realm together, using bloodline soul tracking to search for the remnants of the Black Blood Great Realm. Calculating the time, they should have arrived by now. As long as the last bit of the Black Blood Great Realm's remnants was eliminated, he would be credited with the greatest merit. The Great World would surely bestow rewards, and based on the damage the Black Blood Great Realm had done to the Great World, this reward would be astonishing, expected to exceed the total from the 100 Races War. With this reward, he could elevate all his remaining law powers into rules. Then he could formally construct his rule world and step into the Holy Venerable Realm. In the other shore realm, the most important thing was the rule world. Only with a sufficiently powerful rule world could one walk the subsequent path smoothly. Otherwise, everything would be in vain. Lin Moyu had ambitions for his rule world. He had made many preparations and absolutely would not allow any problems. As he was pondering the shape of his rule world, Lin Moyu suddenly looked up at the sky. His gaze penetrated through the roof, seeing the starry sky outside the Divine City. At some point, a huge vortex had appeared in the starry sky. An astonishing aura emanated from within the vortex. Everyone in the Divine City was awakened, all looking up simultaneously. Several holy venerable other shore cultivators ascended into the sky, their gazes filled with confusion.
What's happening? The pressure from the vortex is so dense, majestic and imposing, like heavenly might. This isn't the pressure of an ordinary cultivator, but the pressure of the great world's runes. I see the great world's runes. The great world's runes have appeared. Heavens, the great world's runes actually appearing. Such a spectacle is unprecedented.
Within the vortex, the great world's runes were faintly visible, not the actual body but a projection. Yet even this was astonishing enough. The great world's runes rarely appeared, but now they were manifesting before everyone's eyes. Indeed, there were no records of such a spectacle. It might have happened in ancient times, but certainly not in modern times. The great world's runes appeared, their light illuminating the divine city. Not just the divine city, all of humanity was enveloped in the light. The human race's star region was glowing, and everyone felt as if they were bathing in a hot spring, experiencing an indescribable comfort. Lin Moyu understood that this wasn't just the great world's runes appearing, but the great world relaxing. Lin Moyu sensed the power of the great world's runes and knew why they had come.
From this day forward, the great world has thoroughly severed its karmic ties. The ancient war has finally ended.
Lin Moyu murmured softly. The last trace of the black blood great realm had been erased. As for those star beasts left behind by various realms, the great world probably didn't even consider them worth noticing. Accompanied by a rumble that only Lin Moyu could hear, the great world's reward descended. Lin Moyu instantly entered a state of enlightenment. He resonated with heaven and earth, dancing with the great world. The law powers on his body continuously elevated, rapidly transforming into rule powers. The speed of transformation was astonishingly fast. What might take others several years to accomplish in this state of enlightenment only took half a day. Law powers were receding, while rule powers became increasingly dense. After bestowing the reward, the vortex disappeared, and the starry sky returned to normal. Lin Moyu's enlightenment lasted for exactly 1 month before ending. In 1 month's time, all law powers had been elevated to rule powers, and his realm had also increased considerably. Lin Moyu's aura was now profound, no different from a holy venerable. All he lacked was a rule world. He was now a holy venerable without a rule world. As long as he established his rule world, he would completely become a holy venerable.
My rule world is still lacking a bit. The 10,000 stars are almost complete, but I need more world crystals. Although the various worlds from before have been shattered and lost their origins, most still have remnants. These worlds will become my nourishment, helping me achieve a rule world that surpasses perfection.
Lin Moyu's mind was clear as a mirror, knowing exactly what he needed to do. A star map appeared before him with several points of light on it. Each point of light here represented the remnants of a once existing world. The Soul Spirit realm and the Tulu realm were among them. Lin Moyu spoke to the void.
Human Emperor, tell Holy Venerable how that I'm going to seek opportunities.
The human emperor's voice quickly responded.
Safe travels.
Space rules surged, completely shattering a space before him. The space laws within twisted, imprinted with Lin Moyu's mark. Activating rule powers required soul power. Every strand of rule power carried a strong personal imprint. Originally, there were countless arrays operating in the Divine City, with the entire space in a locked state, making it impossible to open space gates. But Lin Moyu used his soul power combined with space rules to forcibly change the rules of an area, directly opening a space gate within the Divine City. Lin Moyu stepped into the space gate, instantly crossing 100,000 light years, arriving at the edge of the human race's star region. Several seconds later, the space gate opened again. When Lin Moyu reappeared, he had already entered the Vermilion Bird battlefield, close to the Tulu realm. Arriving at the Tulu realm again, Lin Moyu's memories surged. His experiences here seemed like yesterday. But now, his realm and cultivation were incomparable to before. He could see so much more. With a supreme realm soul and holy venerable realm, he could clearly see this small world. The Tulu realm was very broken, with holes everywhere like a leaking ball. If it weren't for the great world enveloping it, it would have shattered long ago. Its origin was almost gone, with only a last bit struggling to survive. The Tulu realm was once a race too. They were plant-based and skilled in curses. When the ancient war broke out, they also betrayed and were consequently the first to be swept away by the human race. There were still some corpses in the remnants of the Tulu realm. Looking at these corpses now, they were pitifully weak, not even qualifying to become revenants. World-burning fire leapt from his palm, jumping out and exploding in the air. An invisible force instantly swept through the entire Tulu realm. The Tulu realm rumbled incessantly, the entire world rapidly shrinking. This world was somewhat weak, so the refinement process was also very fast. It wouldn't take long to refine completely. Lin Moyu faintly heard the Tulu realms wailing. This was the final scream of an entire world. But it was in vain. Just half a day later, the Tulu realm was completely erased. A world crystal appeared in Lin Moyu's soul world. Lin Moyu didn't linger, heading to the next stop, the soul spirit realm. In his perception, the soul spirit realm was slightly stronger than the Tulu realm. After all, even other shore realm cultivators had trouble entering the soul spirit realm. Lin Moyu knew the reason. If the soul wasn't strong enough and the physical body too weak, one couldn't withstand the rule power of the soul spirit realm. When entering the soul spirit realm, the physical body and soul would be forcibly separated. But for him now, this power was useless. Lin Moyu entered the soul spirit realm. The rule power tugged at his soul but couldn't move it at all. The undying golden body radiated light, blocking the rule power of the soul spirit realm. Lin Moyu entered the soul spirit realm with his physical body. 2272, 2272. Chapter 2272. The second soul spirit progenitor beast. The soul spirit realm was still the same soul spirit realm, filled with the aura of souls. The soul spirit race was very special. They appeared to have no physical bodies, which was what Lin Moyu had initially thought. Later, as his realm increased, he understood that the soul spirit race did have physical bodies, but their bodies and souls were fused together. Their bodies were their souls, and their souls were their bodies. Regarding this wondrous existence, one could only say that the world is vast and full of wonders. Lin Moyu strolled through the world of the soul spirit race. He was in no hurry to refine this world. Last time he had been too rushed, but this time he could appreciate it carefully. Perhaps soon this world would never be seen again. He came to the waterfall he had once entered, and again saw the words carved on it. What was once a deadly danger to him could now be ignored. He came again to the space where the soul spirit progenitor beast resided. The aura of the progenitor beast still lingered here. Back then, the entire soul spirit realm had summoned the soul spirit progenitor beast with all their might. In the end, the soul spirit progenitor beast was beaten to near death and fell into slumber, while the army that had come to suppress the soul spirit race disappeared without a trace after that battle.
They were probably destroyed by the soul spirit progenitor beast. But if the soul spirit race were traitors, and both sides were in a fight to the death, why would they entrust the rule god stone to the soul spirit race for safekeeping?
Lin Moyu recalled the soul spirit race he had encountered in the outer realm. At that time, they had said they had fulfilled their promise to the human race and hoped the human race would fulfill their promise in return.
What exactly did the human race promise them?
Lin Moyu's heart stirred, and he took out a crystal-like object. This was the star core left behind after the death of the soul spirit progenitor beast. After the death of a starry sky beast, there was a certain probability of obtaining a star core. The star core could be said to be the crystallization of a starry sky beast's power. The higher the realm of the starry sky beast, the more valuable its star core naturally was. Over the years, Lin Moyu had obtained many star cores, but none could compare to the star core of the soul spirit progenitor beast. Judging from the star core, the realm of the soul spirit progenitor beast might have surpassed that of a holy venerable. If it hadn't been for its injuries being so severe back then, unable to exert even a billionth of its power, it would have been Lin Moyu who died. Thinking back now, Lin Moyu realized how truly daring he had been back then. It wasn't that his skill was high and thus he was brave, but rather that ignorance knew no fear. Suddenly, the star core of the soul spirit progenitor beast flew up on its own, heading towards a certain part of the space. Lin Moyu was curious and followed it. Waves of immense power came at him, trying to push him away, but Lin Moyu didn't move an inch. He followed the star core to the depths of the space, where he saw a starry sky beast. The starry sky beast looked exactly like the soul spirit progenitor beast, only much smaller and appearing quite young. However, Lin Moyu sensed a kind of strength from this small soul spirit progenitor beast, not strength in power, but strength in bloodline. This small beast had an extremely noble bloodline. Lin Moyu recognized at a glance that the small beast did not belong to the great world, but came from outside the world. Back then, the soul spirit progenitor beast had been summoned by the soul spirit race with the power of their entire race. Perhaps it came from another world. The star core flew towards the small beast. Lin Moyu didn't know if the small beast would pose a danger to him after obtaining the star core, so he suddenly reached out and grabbed the star core. At this moment, the space trembled slightly, and a human figure emerged from the small beast. Lin Moyu looked at him.
It's you!
It wasn't that their appearances were the same, but that their souls were the same. So Lin Moyu was 100% certain that they were the same person.
That person was right. Someone really would bring back the star core of the soul spirit progenitor beast. That person?
Lin Moyu's first reaction was that
person
referred to the mysterious master. The only one who could calculate so accurately was the mysterious master. No one else. The soul spirit race member looked at Lin Moyu.
You've already obtained the box, right?
Lin Moyu nodded.
I have.
The soul spirit race member continued.
I've fulfilled my promise to that person. I hope you can also fulfill what that person promised me. What did he promise you?
Lin Moyu asked. The soul spirit race member said,
To return the star core to us.
Lin Moyu looked at him, and after a moment said,
I can return the star core to you, but I have a request. I want to know the detailed process.
The other person had been in contact with the mysterious master. Through him, perhaps he could learn something about the mysterious master. The soul spirit race member sighed.
So much time has passed. Actually, what you want to know is meaningless. That person is no longer here.
Lin Moyu smiled.
You made a deal with him, and you're making a deal with me now. Tell me what happened back then, and I'll return the star core to you.
The soul spirit race member had no choice. He was now just a wisp of a soul. If Lin Moyu didn't want to keep his promise, he could do nothing about it. So he chose to make a deal with Lin Moyu.
Back then, our soul spirit race was bewitched by the black blood great realm and betrayed the human race. But opinions within the clan were not unified. At that time, the clan was divided into two factions. One faction still stood with the human race, while the other declared war on the human race. When the human race's army arrived, bringing the disaster of racial extinction, they finally summoned the soul spirit progenitor beast at a great cost. The soul spirit progenitor beast was very powerful. It destroyed the army that was suppressing us, but it was also severely injured and on the verge of death. But it was after all our progenitor beast, our origin. We couldn't watch it die. So we made a decision to once again gather the power of our entire race to heal it. The soul spirit progenitor beast's injuries were too severe to heal, so it split itself, creating a small beast. As long as we gave the star core to the small beast after its death, the small beast could become the second soul spirit progenitor beast. But then he came. He sealed the small beast and also sealed the soul spirit progenitor beast, putting it into hibernation, unable to even die. The last of the clan's power was also erased by him, leaving only me. Just when I thought I was going to die, he proposed a deal. He had me take the soul spirit warship to the outer realm, carrying a box, waiting for someone. He said that person would come after 1,000,000 years, and I should give the box to him. This way, we could get back the star core of the soul spirit progenitor beast. Later, I did as he said, waiting for you for 2,000,000 years.
The soul spirit race member finished explaining the whole process in detail. Lin Moyu asked curiously,
Didn't you ever doubt?
The soul spirit race member said with some resignation,
I had no choice. But from the moment you appeared in the soul spirit realm, killed the soul spirit progenitor beast, and took away the star core, I knew he wasn't wrong.
Lin Moyu still had doubts.
Do you know why he chose you at that time?
The soul spirit race member said,
I know. It's because our soul spirit race can self-seal our souls and can wait for hundreds of millions of years. Other races don't have this ability. Your human race's heavenly venerables can do it too, but obviously he didn't want a heavenly venerable to do this. I don't know the specific reason.
Lin Moyu understood very clearly why. Heavenly venerables could indeed do it, but they wouldn't, and they couldn't necessarily be trusted. Lin Moyu said,
The soul spirit progenitor beast was summoned from another world, right?
The soul spirit race member nodded.
It should be. This is an ancestral technique, only used when the race is in danger. The cost is too great.
It seemed that there were other secrets in the soul spirit race. Secrets that perhaps even they themselves didn't know. The soul spirit race member looked at Lin Moyu nervously, or more accurately, at the star core in Lin Moyu's hand, and said softly,
Do you have any more questions?
Lin Moyu smiled.
No more. Now I'll return the star core to you.
He released the star core, which automatically flew towards the small beast. 2273, 2273. Chapter 2273. Suddenly, there's a child. The little beast was in a deep sleep. According to the soul spirit race member, it was sealed by the mysterious master. The star core was the key to unlocking the seal. Once the star core was obtained, the little beast could transform back into the soul spirit progenitor beast. As for what would happen after it transformed back into the soul spirit progenitor beast, Lin Moyu didn't know, and neither did the soul spirit progenitor beast. However, Lin Moyu trusted the mysterious master. Since he did this, there must be a deeper meaning. A layout spanning millions of years couldn't be that simple. Moreover, based on previous encounters, Lin Moyu believed the other party wouldn't harm him. Watching the star core merge into the little beast's body, the little beast's aura began to rise, like a calm water surface suddenly stirring up huge waves. The huge waves surged to the sky, and the little beast's aura grew stronger in an instant. True God, God King, God Sovereign. In the blink of an eye, the little beast's aura had already reached the other shore realm and was still rising. Lin Moyu asked,
What was the realm of the former soul spirit progenitor beast?
Under the impact of the little beast's aura, the last wisp of the soul spirit race member's soul became somewhat ethereal, as if it could dissipate at any moment. He struggled to utter 4 words.
Peak Supreme.
Peak Supreme was very strong, already the strongest among Supremes, and being called
Peak
meant it was only a step away from becoming a heavenly venerable. However, Lin Moyu felt that the little beast, having regained the star core, should not be able to return to that realm. It might not even be able to return to the supreme realm. As he expected, when the little beast's aura reached the holy venerable realm, it began to stabilize. Finally, the little beast's aura stopped at half-step supreme, not returning to its peak state. The little beast slowly awakened and let out a roar. Lin Moyu was very surprised. The little beast's roar was very gentle, not like the ear-piercing scream of a starry sky giant beast, but more like the meow of a kitten.
It's not yet an adult.
Lin Moyu thought to himself. The split soul spirit progenitor beast was equivalent to being reborn, starting to grow again from infancy. The little beast emitted light, exuding an aura similar to that of the soul spirit race member, but more ancient and noble. The last remaining remnant of the soul spirit race member was now kneeling before the little beast, prostrating himself. He chanted some tunes that Lin Moyu couldn't understand, with a special melody very mysterious. In his chanting, the little beast slowly opened its eyes. Its eyes were clear and bright, as pure as crystal. When Lin Moyu saw the little beast's eyes, he knew that the newly born little beast had nothing to do with the deceased soul spirit progenitor beast. It had even lost its memory, essentially a completely new individual. The little beast's clear gaze swept over the soul spirit race member, then around, and finally landed on Lin Moyu. At that moment, Lin Moyu felt an inexplicable connection between himself and the little beast. The little beast looked at him as if a child were looking at a father. A thought suddenly arose in Lin Moyu's mind. He was going to be a father. As soon as the thought arose, A childish voice suddenly echoed in his soul world.
Father.
Lin Moyu felt a mix of emotions upon hearing this voice.
Big sister, did you curse me?
Lin Mohan had been urging him to have children, and now he suddenly had a little beast. Suddenly, a powerful soul aura exploded in the space, and soul power rippled through the space. Countless voices echoed in his ears, as if countless soul spirit race members were chanting together. The powerful soul force resonated in the space, and even Lin Moyu's soul realm felt somewhat uncomfortable. He saw countless remnants of souls emerging in the space, all remnants of the soul spirit race. These remnants had no consciousness, chanting a peculiar tune together. The soul force grew increasingly immense, almost tangible, forming a vortex above the little beast. A massive aura emanated from the vortex, clearly coming from another world. The vortex generated a suction force on the little beast, trying to pull it away. Lin Moyu's heart tightened.
They want to send the little beast back.
The soul spirit race had used the power of their entire race to summon the soul spirit progenitor beast from another world, and now, their remnants wanted to send the newly born little beast back. So, after returning the star core, the soul spirit race knew what they had to do. The mysterious master might have also anticipated their actions.
Father!
The childish voice echoed in his soul, tinged with panic and reluctance. The little beast's clear eyes also showed panic, but it seemed unable to resist the power of the vortex. No matter how it struggled, it was futile. Its small body was being gradually pulled away, flying towards the vortex. Lin Moyu felt a surge of reluctance. He suddenly had the thought of not wanting the little beast to leave, as if the little beast had truly become his child, and he was about to lose his child. This thought was absurd, yet incredibly real. Lin Moyu took action, following his heart. A large number of skeleton god generals appeared around him, launching attacks on the vortex. As long as he shattered the vortex, the little beast could stay. Sword light flashed, but it was swallowed by the vortex like mud into the sea, causing no ripples. Just half a second later, a roar suddenly echoed from the vortex. The roar shook his soul, and Lin Moyu's face changed drastically, his entire body being thrown back like a meteor. Lin Moyu's face turned slightly pale. The roar contained an extremely strong soul impact. If he were an ordinary other shore realm cultivator, he might have already died. The vortex led to another world, a terrifying world. It was once the world where the soul spirit progenitor beast lived, so it couldn't be anything but terrifying. Lin Moyu didn't try again. He knew that with his current strength, he couldn't stop it.
Father!
The little beast called out in a childish voice, its clear eyes full of reluctance. The little beast knew nothing about this world. Lin Moyu was the first person it saw, and it instinctively imprinted on him, seeing him as its father. Lin Moyu also felt a sense of reluctance, as if he were truly about to be separated from his child. Lin Moyu knew that this was because the little beast had left an imprint on his soul. Lin Moyu didn't actively erase this imprint. This feeling was novel and worth experiencing. With his Tao heart, such a feeling couldn't influence any of his decisions. Experiencing different feelings was also a form of experience. Without having a child, he could still experience the feeling of being a father, which was quite interesting. He watched the little beast leave with his own eyes. The reluctance in the little beast's eyes grew stronger, and the reluctance from its soul also intensified.
Father! Father!
The soul's voice called out, but Lin Moyu remained unmoved, as if he had a heart of stone. The little beast didn't know that its father had no power to stop it. It simply didn't want to be separated from Lin Moyu, its thoughts pure and simple. At the moment when the little beast was about to enter the vortex, Lin Moyu finally spoke. Lin Moyu said to the little beast,
You go first, I will come to find you.
With these words, the little beast's original unease seemed to be soothed. Although still reluctant, it became much quieter. The little beast finally entered the vortex, which then disappeared, taking the little beast back to the world of the soul spirit progenitor beast. The chanting also stopped, and the shadows of the soul spirit race members vanished, including the last remnant soul, leaving only Lin Moyu alone. Lin Moyu felt the imprint in his soul. Through this imprint, he could sense the little beast's existence. The distance between them was incredibly vast, as if separated by countless worlds. The connection between them remained, not broken, and he could even vaguely sense the direction. Lin Moyu smiled.
Perhaps this can become my guidepost when I enter the Realm Sea.
2274, 2274.